Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Good evening, Instagram! It's Tuesday night, it's 7:30, that can only mean one thing.
It's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate, episode 101.
101. Let's get Jamie in.
Jamie in.
Evening, Jamie.
Hello.
Do you have a tripod this week?
I have a tripod, but it's a bit loose and I can't tie it up, and sometimes it does that.
Sideways.
I can't figure out how to tighten that bit up. So it might just go whoop at one point. Never mind. It'll be all right. Good evening, Joe. George, did you have a good birthday?
Yep.
Tell us about it then. Come on.
Not ideal that I woke up at 4:20.
Oh.
Was it, Dad?
On the hottest day for ages.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Not good.
That is not good at all.
But then the rest of the day followed up pretty well.
What did you do then?
Went on Bounty Castle, presents. Presents, obviously.
Obviously. Ovs.
Pool.
Paddling pool, Bouncy Castle.
Ate cake.
Ate cake. It was like a chocolate cake, so you could, like, smash it. So it was like this cake, and on top of it was like a
dome of
chocolate shaped in the way of a football, and I smashed a spoon on it and it went.
Oh, that'd be cool. Well, I haven't seen any pictures of that.
Don't think anybody took. That's the problem with birthdays. You forget to take pictures because you're having too much fun.
Too much fun.
Well, at least my mum took. At least my mum took a photo of everyone saying "smash it."
Is there a video?
Yeah, there's a video of everyone saying "smash it" and then me going bang.
I think it was Auntie Kelly that took the video.
This is the first time on this podcast. Can you tell me a little bit what you talk about? We'll be talking about gardening soon.
Soon, yeah.
With a lovely guest.
He's talking to George at the minute. George comes on for a few minutes and tells us about his week. And this week has been his birthday, and he also has a gardening fact sometimes.
All the time
All
nowadays.
of the time now. You know the rhythm.
And what have you been doing again this weekend, George? Yeah. What did you do this weekend?
Oh, went to cut on the ride on lawnmower at Tina's.
I saw that.
Yep.
Looks like a very shiny new ride on.
Tina did say possibly she's thinking about it, but possibly when she eventually sells the house and everything, and it's sold and everything, she might give us the ride on lawnmower.
Ooh. Is it a shiny Mountfield?
It's Mountfield, yeah.
It's not as shiny as it looks. It's a few years old.
When you see the bonnet looks lovely and shiny. They look almost brand new to me.
It's not done a lot.
No. It's good for carrying pears and apples back to the car, though.
We're filling the bit where your feet go with apples and pears as we were driving past the trees.
Brilliant.
But George did the whole area all on his own.
Yeah, I did the whole area all on my own, pulling up the thing to
emptying the back bit.
Oh, fantastic.
Good fun, wasn't it?
It is good fun.
Go on then, do your gardening fact.
Gardening fact. Where? Which one?
Here.
Oh, there.
The bit that says George's gardening fact.
Obviously. Do I need to have my eyes checked?
Yeah, maybe you need glasses.
No, I don't. Bonk. George's garden fact. The tulip tree is at Kew Gardens is 10 metres and
10 metres what?
10 metres tall, and it is estimated that it weighs a whopping 4 tons.
4-ton tulip tree?
Yeah.
What, that comes from a little bulb like that?
No. It's a proper tree.
It's a proper tree.
Oh. I've never seen
Rhododendron
one.
tulipifera.
That's
Never
I
seen
wouldn't be
one.
able to say that bit.
No, I took that bit out because you wouldn't be able to say a Latin name.
A Latin name.
You'd have to watch Jen's Learn the Latin Garden to learn.
Yeah.
What about Aladdin?
That's not Latin, that's just a name.
It sounds like Aladdin.
Joe just said you're a member of the library now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a library card today.
Got a library card, yep.
Brilliant.
I borrowed some books and they're due back 9th of September.
Anything exciting? Any
What?
gardening books?
Gardening books?
Nah.
No, not gardening books. I've got like the world's worst teachers.
World's Worst Teachers?
Yeah.
Is that all about your teachers at your school?
No.
Including TAs?
No. I imagine if Miss Fisher was on there.
And who else is a TA at your school?
Who? My mum.
Exactly.
Well, she'll be the world's nicest TA. What?
Should be happy with that.
Brilliant. What presents did you get then?
Remember any presents?
Mum!
Remember any presents you got?
Sorting hat thingy. So you put it on your head, press a button, and it talks to you, sorts you into a house like it does in the movie.
Oh yeah.
The movie.
What was your favourite birthday present?
My favourite.
Yeah.
Probably the Dan Burn shirt and the Dan Burn shirt probably. Newcastle shirt, the away. Not the away.
Where's the away kit?
That's
I know what you're on about. Don't know what you're on about.
the green kit's the.
That's the third kit.
Oh.
I don't know what you're on about.
You know the so
No.
Newcastle have
I don't
got
know.
a
I don't know what
like
you're on about.
classification
La
for
la 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 la.
Anything else other than Newcastle shirt?
If I could put my fingers in my ears, I would. But
You could just take your things out of your ears.
Yeah.
And be able to see.
How dare Liverpool try and steal like Isaac off us?
Any other presents, or is that it?
No, I've got loads more.
Yeah, but I only want one more. One
more.
Oh.
One of your favourites.
A tricky one. Sorting hat. Oh, Jamie, yeah, I've used my voucher.
Have you?
I've used the voucher.
What did you
What
buy?
for?
I bought the Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 for my Xbox.
I
guess that's a driving game.
Racing game.
Yeah, racing
Little
game.
cars.
Yeah, and that wiped out all of the voucher.
Is
All
that,
right.
Is that not one of your favourite presents?
Oh, yeah. Oh, how did I forget about that? Come on, brain, work. Yeah, on the 14th of September, because obviously it's already been the 14th of August, so next month I'm going to Wembley to do the stadium tour.
Oh, brilliant. I've done that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Jamie, did you get to stand in the centre circle, though?
No, we weren't allowed on the pitch.
No, we are.
Special
Lucky. Lucky.
Right, go on then. Off you go. See you next week.
Remember.
See you in the morning. Good work.
102 next time round.
Say
See you
goodbye
in
to
102.
Goodbye.
Tiny phone people.
Goodbye, tiny phone people.
Oof.
There we go. That's John.
And breathe.
He's a ball of energy.
He is a lovely ball of energy. Glad he had a great birthday. Double figures. Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make you feel old, especially when it's my birthday next week.
Oh yeah, especially when you are old next week.
30 years old.
No, stick another 10 on that. That's when you had George. I just spotted a traffic light truss behind you.
A traffic light truss, is it?
Yeah.
Hello.
Look at that. I love a traffic light truss. Tomatoes are going great guns at the minute. Absolute great guns.
Saw that you've cut all your leaves off.
Yeah, had a big old chop up again.
Get as much light in there as possible.
Yeah, but they're doing really well, really, really well. And they're delicious. Some of them are. Oh,
What's been your favourite one you've had so far?
I tell you what, the favourite one. I was talking to Niall about it earlier this morning, and it's garden olive. It's quite a small one,
Yeah.
but when it's green, it's real deep racing green. But then it still has some of that green going through the middle when it's ripe.
And you eat it green, not red.
No, no, let it. It does
Okay.
go red, but not red. Red. It keeps a lot of the green, and there's a green go all the way through the middle.
Like a tinge.
It's lovely, really nice. What have you been doing in the pond anyway?
Oh, God. Nearly drowning myself. So, the pond has not been maintained at all, really. Everything's just been allowed to go crazy.
Hmm.
And the plants that were planted as marginal plants are now probably 20 foot further than what they used to be. So we're trying to chop it right back so that
Yeah.
the water is bigger again. Because there's plants that are supposed to be marginal and they're nearly halfway across the lake.
Wow.
And I think the problem is because of the fluctuating water levels over the summers, is that when it's summer, the lake level drops, which means they spread out because the water's not as deep.
Yeah.
And then obviously they're already in there. And then when the water level goes back up again, it's already happy and rooted,
Mm.
and then it just builds up a silt bank where the actual stems are. So we're trying to clear some of that out. So yeah, it's not easy. And we've had the bog bean that we've been doing today. The stems are layered on top of each other, about that thick, so you can stand on top of them.
Wow.
You're not in the water, and then when you take it out, you're welly deep in the water. It's
So you're
actually,
gonna have all them out and compost them?
yeah. Well, what we're actually doing is spreading it in the woodland in a really thin layer under the trees, because otherwise
All
we'd
right.
just have a massive pile of stuff.
Right. Too much.
Too much. There's always too much. That's the problem in that garden. You always, you have a glut of one thing.
Mm.
Hard to. Yeah, I'd love to be able to compost it all because the amount of goodness in those stems and stuff, and all the
Oh.
water
Oh
and
my
silt,
God. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
be
And
amazing.
surely you
But
can have a layer on, have at least one layer on your heap.
yeah, oh yeah, we'll definitely put some on the heap, even if we
Yeah.
put it to one side and then add it later on.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing because my heaps are full. So I'm just making a pile,
Yeah,
and as the heaps go down and I turn them, I'll
more
transfer that.
yeah,
You're lucky at work. You got your compost heaps the size of a bloody double garage.
and they're all full, full to the top, full to bursting. It's the problem. I mean, having so much help, you're filling them even quicker than what
Yeah,
I've been doing in previous years. Previous years, I'd got it to the point where I'd have two empty, and then I'd fill those two throughout the year. But with three people there, it's like you could fill a heap in 2 weeks.
yeah.
We need, double the amount of heaps, especially with how much stuff we've been clearing as well, because it's been big sort of projects.
Hmm. Yeah, well, major stuff.
But I'd love to be doing chop and drop. Hopefully, we'll figure out a way of doing that, even if it's with a machine to do it.
Yeah, it just looks a bit untidy, though, doesn't it? And with a lot of places where you are, you can't leave it untidy. The whole idea of it to look nice.
No, but then if you shred it small enough, it'll just look like mulch almost once it dries out,
Mm.
especially the perennials. Because the perennials, when we cut them down, are brown. So if you could feed that through like a chipper,
Mm.
it'd just be little pieces, and it'd look like a mulch then, and then it'd probably break down really quickly, and then you feed
Yeah.
it the soil with last year's growth, which is what
Mm.
would happen in nature almost, because it'd
Of
fly.
course it would. Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to get taken away and piled up in nature, is it?
No, nobody's going to come along with a pair of secateurs and chop it all down.
No. But that's what chop and drop is really just chop it and leave it down. But you want to mulch it up so it disappears and looks
Yeah,
nicer.
yeah. Do it
Mm,
slightly nicer than chop and drop.
mm.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you did it in your own garden, you'd just chop it into small pieces as you were going, wouldn't you?
Yeah, instead of cutting at the bottom, you just go chop, 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 chop
Yeah,
all the way
just
down.
pull down or chop it into a bucket, finish weeding, and then chuck it back on again
Yeah.
once you'd cleared the bed.
Mm, mm. Ask me what I found this week.
What did you find this week, Jamie? Show off.
I can't believe it. I'm still buzzing about it. I really am. I've been looking at that for weeks, thinking, "Oh, look at that little cucumber at the back," and not bothered touching
Not
it
even
or
twigged.
nothing. And then I looked at it yesterday and went, "Look! Oh my God! It is absolutely solid, and it's ridged,
Like
and it's
jelly time.
about a foot long. Fantastic
Massive.
loofah."
How you've managed that? That's just
I
so
don't even know where it came. Well, it must have come from because I grew 5 or 6, didn't I?
Mm.
I gave you two,
Yeah, too.
two. I think Kim had 1 or 2, and I sat and watched my ones dying in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
They were long, weren't they, and hanging over that shelf in the polytunnel. But there must have been one slipped the net, went in with the other cucumber plants, and done the business.
Ta-da. That's what you need to do. Just forget about it.
Yeah,
That's how
I
you
ain't
get
done
people.
nothing, no, nothing special to that. Now I've got it, I can start farting about of it and kill it, won't I?
You just trying to make it a massive loofah, and it will just shrivel.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep feeding it and watering it and feeding it and watering. I go, no.
You just need to forget it.
I do, yeah. I am
Then you
just
haven't
going to
seen it.
keep watering as I have been all the cucumbers and just let it do its thing. Right, enough about us.
Let's get our guest in. So tonight's guest is somebody who discovered their love of gardening during the pandemic and entertained us all with his hilarious content, from dancing to dressing up in various outfits. He is a writer, an award-winning garden designer, a mental health campaigner, and most importantly, a man with a fabulous beard.
Ah,
It is, of course, Lee Johnstone, or as you may know him, the Beardy Gardener. There it is.
There it is.
There's that
stop
glorious
it.
beard.
No, I just
Soon
thought
as
I'd give you the really up close shot there. Look,
see, I knew it was going to happen. 2 big beards and my little old grey one.
It's like the
do you,
growth stage.
do you know what though? People say to me, "Oh, how do you?" I don't do anything to it. I don't do anything to it. I don't oil it. I don't balm it. I don't, you know. So it's all au naturel.
Some people do, don't they? They spend a fortune on different products and
But
trims and
yeah, I don't know. But then yeah, all I do is trim there, just to
oh,
sort of
because
keep the
that
food from.
curl into your mouth.
Yeah, occasionally pick it out the tea. Yeah.
Uh, How you doing, Lee?
Yeah,
I
good
told
actually. Do you know what? Oh, hello. Um, I was just thinking, I haven't done an Instagram live for years actually, so it's quite nice to do one again. It's just really nice to sit out in the garden of an evening and chat to people. It's really nice. So
yeah.
thank you for inviting me.
No, welcome. Thank you for coming on. And it's good you're sitting outside because a lot of people don't. But we've
Oh
got to
God, I
make the
mean,
most of it.
we have to. I mean, we're all outdoorsy people. Why wouldn't we sit outside?
Mm,
Um,
definitely.
well, there might be the chickens are next to me, so they might make a. They tend to whine whenever they hear me. It's nice. I feel like they're sort of, you know, I'm like dad, and they're like, what's dad doing? So they could whine, but it's fine. It's background, isn't it?
Well, I would say that if mine hear them, they might come over, but
Mm.
you're in my ears, so they won't hear you.
Okay, that's a shame. They could have bonded.
They could have. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Let's have a
That would
chicken
have been nice.
live.
Yeah, but that's next time. That's a separate slot.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
With lots of comments. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Where
Mm.
do we start? Oh my God.
Don't know. Go for it.
Same as lots of people, same as me, finding gardening in lockdown.
Yeah, I find that's a bit like, we all say this now, don't we? I mean,
Yeah,
it's what sort of everyone seems to say, but it is
yeah.
true. You know, I mean, it's yeah. Luckily, we just moved in here. Just moved with my wife to the first house. You know, I don't know if you guys have been there, but you know, you rent houses and you try and garden and grow stuff, and you get told off by the landlord all the time, and it just sort of it just puts you off, so you don't bother doing it. So, you know, there was a gap between when I was gardening at primary school with my nan,
Yeah.
and then you know you go to uni, you start secondary school, you're interested in other things that aren't gardening, and then yeah,
Hmm.
it was the fact that I had this space, that it was a blank canvas, and I was almost forced to go out here because we couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sort of forced me to look to the garden, but it wasn't easy though. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to a lot of the time. Didn't want to really get out here, and you know, because my mental health took a right tumble during COVID. So you know,
Hmm.
it was days where I was just in bed for like 3 or 4 days at a time. Just
Oh wow.
you know, my mental health was really poor. So it wasn't like lockdown happened. Oh, the garden! I'm going to go for that. It took a while for me to build up the sort of confidence to understand what that what it could do for me and where to begin. But that's
Yeah.
also what Instagram was doing. You know, I was doing more of this actually back. I was thinking about that as well. I was doing more sort of lives and connecting with the community during COVID, and I do feel guilty sometimes that I've lost that a bit as you know, as life got back to, oh hello, as life got back to normal.
Yeah.
Um, we sort of lose, you know, there's some things that I was doing during that period, connecting with people that I don't do so much now, which is a shame. But I'm waffling. But yes, that it
No,
was.
waffle on. It's fine.
But yeah, so yeah, and it was a longer process, but it started with a path really. It started with me going on Facebook Marketplace, um, just as something to do, seeing if I
Hmm.
could find bricks that matched the bricks of our Victorian house,
Yeah.
um, and just you know, how do I lay a path? Googling it and showcasing it on Instagram. That's how it started really.
Brilliant.
And then you
So is
encourage
that is that is that why you started your Instagram then, just to showcase things on there, or for?
Yeah, it was my Instagram page was originally called the 1900s house because that's when the house was.
Ah,
So
right.
I
Okay.
so I was just doing pictures of like almost before and afters of me. I don't know, a pot with some compost, and then you know in the summer it's full of life. Or you know it was just going to be that. But
Yeah.
then I started doing things like this, connecting with people more. You know, there was that sort of whole community that emerged from during lockdown on social media, and then I as you mentioned in your introduction, dancing and prancing and things. You know, and that's my, you know, I'm an actor by training. That's my background. So I
Ah,
just
that
sort of
explains a lot.
yeah, but yeah. And I still do that. I still do that full time
Mm.
almost. Still, I still run a theatre company. Um, and yeah, so I was just sort of doing what I knew best really, and just sort of combining that with the garden, and then yeah, that's when the beardy gardener started to emerge.
Ah,
round.
Hmm.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Well, I've loved watching your reels and posts over the last few years. Extremely enthusiastic, and I don't know what words to say, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
all
mean,
really entertaining. Excellent.
and you know what? There's no, you know, I'm not. I'm being a performer. I'm not bothered about what people think about me.
No.
But that comes as well with experience and life, you know. And then the mental health stuff, that's a bit more of a journey. I'm able to be a bit more open about my mental health journey because I've been on a positive journey of, I don't like to say the word recovery, but you know, I've been on a positive journey with that.
Mm.
So by combining the two, I really don't care what I do, as long as it's, you know, I think it's about just being honest and open and true to yourself, and if people engage with that, they engage with it,
Mm.
and just enjoying it along the way, really. But then, you know, there is a point where you go, okay, I do want to do something with this. You know, I do want to, you know, design spaces for communities, or I do want to write some stuff about, well, whatever it is, and then that starts to creep in a bit, and I think sometimes that you can lose that authenticity
Yeah.
actually, and I've been on that journey as well. as I know some other people that I speak to have with social media. It's like you get funneled down a bit of a trap,
Yeah.
and you feel you have to do some stuff and you have to be someone else, and and we've done that, and I've been on that journey anyway, and I'm now sort of come out the other side and and sort of going, do you know what? I'm just going to do what I want to do, and if people still want to watch me and listen to me, they can.
Yeah.
It's quite a weird feeling when you're sitting there thinking, oh, I've got to do something on Instagram. I've got to post something. I've got to do a reel. It's a
Yeah.
we all think it, when we're on we do stuff all the time, and then you think, oh, I've had a
Mm.
couple of days and I haven't done nothing. It's awful sometimes.
Well, and that's what I've stopped doing, because that was making me ill.
Mm,
Actually, it was putting too much pressure on myself, and then you don't then enjoy the thing that you
no.
started off enjoying in the first place.
No.
So it's and that's taken me a while, but it's again, I'm not going to put pressure on myself there, because I don't need it. I don't need extra pressure. I suffer with poor mental health generally anyway. I don't need anything else to add to that.
Yeah.
Mm,
So what is the point? I'll just do it on my own terms and also, if it's forced, again, it's not real, is it? It's
no.
not. It's not your. It's not you. It's not authentic. So again, yeah, been on a bit of that journey as well. But I think I don't put that pressure on myself now.
No.
It's just too. It's not worth it. And also, I'm doing stuff in what I call the real world now. I want to be doing projects with communities and helping children, young people, and helping adults with their mental health through gardening. And sometimes I'll forget to video or take pictures of anything, which
Yeah.
which makes me go, oh, I wish I'd sort of evidence that. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but it did take some time for me to go, I need to stop thinking about putting it somewhere on social
Mm,
media.
mm. Yeah, I've noticed that just recently. This last probably 6 months, I've done a bit of only local stuff, stage talks and bits and bobs,
Mm,
and it just feels weird, feels different completely. But it feels. I always say that this little phone here, Instagram, isn't real. It's not my real life because it isn't. This is my second life, basically,
yeah, yeah,
isn't it? We know
yeah,
so many people on here. We talk to people all day, every day. But then I've got this life as well, and a lot of people in that life don't know about this life. It's really
no,
strange.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I I still try, and as I said, I still run a charity that I've started at uni. So I still do that 5 days a week, and I try my best not to blend the bearded gardener and that world. It's
Yeah,
hard. It is hard, because people do cotton on,
yeah.
and they start following me, and then they'll come in for a meeting and say, "Well, I saw you rolling around in the dirt at the weekend," or something, you know. But I try and not to blend the two. But I definitely actually feel this year there's a complete sort of shift and change again in the social media world. And as a different platform comes out, and a different, I just almost can't be asked to keep up with it.
Mm,
Problem.
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So
But
I just do what I like doing.
yeah, brilliant.
Best way to be.
So you just said about rolling around in the dirt. Let's talk about rolling around in the dirt. Why weren't you rolling around in the dirt?
Um, so I'm just gonna come up with a funny answer then. I'll come up with a real answer. Um, So I'm actually, in the last year, I've become really, really, well, more passionate about soil, actually, and the fact that we should be thinking about our soil first and foremost before we think about
Mm,
anything else. Being a good gardener is really understanding the soil that you have. Um, and getting people to understand, actually, that it all starts with soil, and soil health is vital to sort of the planet and the planet's future. And that's actually come from my learning and experience of hosting a few people at various flower shows that have been real specialists on soil.
hmm.
And I'm really passionate about also that connection, that scientific connection between touching, or touching the earth, touching the soil, and what that does to chemicals in the brain, and how that a happy hormone is released, and all that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to showcase that in a silly way.
Yeah.
So I had a pair of pink tights. I thought, do you know what? Let's be a worm. Because why not?
Exactly.
And
Why
I
not?
suppose there was an element of me there going, I'm a performer. I'll do this because it's a laugh, but also two, the algorithm's going to either be interested in this or not.
Yeah.
so, so I thought, let's just get it out. It's me, let's just whack it out. And actually, what's interesting about that video is there's been such a fierce battle on that in comments with people. Actually, what it's made me realise is that people are so scared of the outdoors.
Mm,
Actually, they're scared of just what's out there that could be poisonous. Don't touch the soil. There's this toxin. There's that's
mm,
going to make you ill.
mm.
And whilst a small percentage will be right, yes, you can get this, and this from various different toxins in soil and various things, but it's very minute and it's very
Yeah,
specific to specific areas. But that gets blown out of proportion, and people just feel like that they wouldn't even want to sit in the soil in their garden. They wouldn't even
no.
want to touch it. They wouldn't, and actually, that's just really interesting. Actually, I
Mm.
found, and there's a right old debate in the comments about how you should or shouldn't be rubbing soil on your face. We could talk about slugs as well, because I rub them all over my face as well.
That's really weird because before lockdown, so it must have been about 17. We went on holiday and met some people out on holiday, and sometimes, like you do, a few months later, they came round to see us and whatever. And Adam, his name was, he said, "Oh, if you hear my alarm early, I'm just going up to walk outside." So every morning he gets up with the sunrise,
Yeah,
with minimal clothes on, no
yeah,
shoes, and goes and
yep,
walks out on as
yeah,
much mud and open ground as he possibly can for about a
yeah,
quarter of an hour. And he does it every morning. But that's
yeah.
connecting with the earth and the soil.
And I
But
think, and again, it's part of. I've definitely been on a bit of a, I'm not a religious person in any way, but I think being spiritual and being religious are different.
mm,
And I think there's something about the connection to something greater and nature and the seasons that I'm quite interested in. I don't know where I am on the
mm,
journey yet, but I'm definitely on a journey there. And I think, you go back to when we were living in caves or whatever, or being closer connected to the land, and you think we're just going back there. Really, that's all we're
mm,
doing. We're just sort
mm,
of getting rid of modern industry, and we're just connecting back to what we did for hundreds of thousands of years, and
mm,
and and we're still here. So and I think there are far more answers in nature and the earth and the planet and the soil than we know about, and I
mm,
think that's exciting. Actually, I
mm,
want to be on that.
mm,
I want to be on that journey. I want to be interested in
yeah.
that. I'm not. That sounds quite. I'm not full blown hippie yet, but you never know, do you? I'm interested. I might, might become a druid or something. That'd be quite interesting.
Mm. Get Stonehenge at the summer equinox and things.
Do you know, I've got a vision. I've always had this ambition of sort of having like a monastic garden where I'm just growing medicinal herbs, as like a sort of medieval like monk or something, just wandering around in, I don't know, just a very romantic idea of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Keeping bees and making potions and things. And I think as well that goes back to childhood. And there's something really interested in giving in that permission that we give ourselves as children and adults. Kids play around in the dirt. You
Mm,
know, there-
mm,
they don't have to almost have permission from society to do that or
yeah.
whatever. I think there's a fear that comes in at some point there. There's a barrier that comes in at some point there. We just need to get back to that. And I think
Yeah.
I think young children, young people are quite they're ready and willing to embrace all this stuff. And it's us adults that sort of need to get back there and understand it better.
That's interesting because you probably remember, Mark, when we had Charles Dowding on, he was talking about a children's not cookbook, gardening book
Yeah.
he'd written. And when the publishers sent through the front cover drawing, the child on the front, this picture, had a big pair of green gloves on in the soil. And he said, no, 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 scrap them gloves.
Absolutely, yeah, good, good,
Yeah.
good. That's really good. Well done, Charles.
Yeah.
Um, but whenever I go and do schools community builds or planting or school stuff, I never bring any gloves, but the organisers always bring spare gloves just in case.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, let's get. There's nothing harmful in this. They can all wash their hands afterwards,
Mm.
and I encourage as much as I can. I know some children, there's things around texture and senses and things, which I get all that, and which is fine. But I think fundamentally, if we can get the majority of them just out there, just
Yeah.
touching, just touching and feeling what that feels like, and you'll be a better gardener because of it as
Mm.
well.
Mm.
And
Definitely.
also, there's, I was reading the other day, I was thinking about, because I've spent a bit of time in the Middle East. I'm quite interested in that area of the world and culture and various things. And I was thinking about food and how we eat, actually. And there's some science, I think, around when you eat food with your hands and when you're not using cutlery,
Yeah.
actually, it does something to the brain that makes you feel fuller. It connects you better to the food. It makes you understand the food better. I don't know. There's loads of stuff there in texture and
Oh,
touch,
right.
and
Mm.
yeah. I don't know. Again, I should have been more prepared with the fact there, but I've definitely read some stuff around that,
Like
around
kebab
how
in
we.
my house.
There you go. Cheesy chips with your hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you
But a
go.
lot of people, when they see, yeah, Indians mainly, I suppose, don't know, eating the bit of bread and scooping up the curry, they're going, "Oh God, it's gross." But it doesn't. I do it. If I have a curry, I'll get my naan bread and scoop up. That's the
Yeah.
same thing, isn't it? But they just do it all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. I think there's. I don't know, and it's also about sharing food as well. When I was in Jordan last year, and it's every meal is about a celebration. It's about a gathering. It's about getting people around the table to talk about their day. And I don't think we do that as much anymore here. We just,
No.
Sunday
Do
lunch is sort of, our equivalent of getting the family around, but a lot of us can't bear our families, so we, so we don't do that. But I
It's
think that's something we've lost actually, and I think there's something quite nice. Again, I'd love to have a sort of woodland where I could have a big oak table and everyone gathers and we eat. Anyway, that's me being
yeah,
romantic again.
no, it's brilliant. When we were kids, every evening meal, you sat around the table.
yeah,
And we didn't have
Yeah,
phones, so they couldn't be out, iPads and God knows what. And we used to talk about
yeah,
what's gone on throughout the day. Don't happen anymore.
exactly. No, not
that's
really. I
that's
try
always
to
been
make
a
sure.
non-negotiable in our household. That meal times you sit around the table, like
Yeah,
that's even
Yeah,
if that's the only time you all get together. Meal times you sit down, no phone. Phones
yeah.
aside, eat your food.
And we used to do that, but now my kids are older. They're 18 and 20. They're in and
yeah.
out different times. They have their meal microwaved at 11:30 at night most of the time. So
Well, we've all
it
been
can't
there.
happen. Yeah, of course we have, definitely. Just going back
Yeah.
to the kids, you say you do some teaching kids gardening and things like that.
Hmm.
And Mark has heard this story several times, and some of the listeners has. But when I was ill back this year, beginning of this year, I couldn't literally do anything for about 3 or 4 months. So I couldn't go in the
Hmm.
garden. I couldn't do anything. But when I finally managed to be able to get down and start doing some weeding very gently, I could I, I could feel it. I could I don't know what it was, but it was weird having my hands back in the soil. I could feel it, and I can feel it now. I can feel the talking about it. There's a tingle going over my body. Do you see that with kids? Do you see a change in them when they get their hands in the soil? Do they a big uplift? And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see in a meet. So uh, a lot of a lot of the stuff I do is with children, young people, or communities where they haven't had any love for a long time. There's either
oh
deprived
right,
communities or young people, children, young people who don't fit into mainstream education, and so actually giving them just permission to do something different is really powerful.
yeah, mm,
So a lot of the time, I talk about a recent project I did in Basingstoke where, it was a really sort of really deprived area of the town, social housing, and the community had just been sort of lost really and forgotten. And there was lots of antisocial behaviour, lots of scootering and e-scootering and around this sort of
yeah,
courtyard area, and they wanted to redevelop the courtyard area. So we came in, and the first thing I did. and this comes from my sort of background with working with my charity, because it's all about empowering people rather than telling them what to do.
Mm.
You go on a journey with them and you support them to make change. So we said, you know what, there's all of these shrubs, there's these brambles, there's all this awful stuff here. Here's a pickaxe, here's a fork, here's a spade, get in there and dig it out. And they were like, what? They've never been almost given the opportunity to, here's a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you might think I'm going to whack someone around the head with it. No, I'm not, because I know you're not. You're not definitely going to, are you? No, no, I'll help you. So, and they cleared this site, and actually, I find it's digging and weeding that children and young people like the most,
Mm.
because it's just that sort of almost no holds barred. It's
Yeah.
just that's yeah. There's no really complex thinking about what they're doing. They're not, it's not that they have to sort of understand a system or a process. It's just, let's dig some holes and dig some stuff out, and it's and 9 times out of 10 that is really engaging as a starting point for children and young people. Um, we got these teenagers, yeah, just digging and weeding, and there was a really nice moment where like four of these lads were sort of pulling out this big root ball, um, and they wouldn't leave until they'd got it out, and that was just a
Wow.
nice sense of achievement for them,
Yeah.
which they hadn't had. And I think as well, a lot of the time when I do these projects, is that I'm also a neutral person. Well, I'm not the council, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a
Yeah.
social worker. I'm just someone coming in to give them permission to have some fun.
Mm.
So it always is that, yeah, it's that sort of, it's just going, hello, who are you?
Mm.
And then not feeling like I'm sort of telling them off or asking them what they're doing, or that's where a lot of the change happens, and then the trust is built, and then you can bring them on a journey. So yeah, it's a slow burn to get them continually engaged in gardening, and to get them to maybe, because a lot of the time we want those people to then be taking on the garden maintenance when you've gone and when you've
Yeah.
left. So that takes a bit of time,
Mm.
nurturing those groups and children and stuff to feel like they have the confidence to carry on looking after their space. But it's just nice. It's really nice when before a project starts like that, you're told that it's a really, really rough area. It's going to be challenging behaviour. The kids aren't, that you might have some issues, and then by lunchtime they're all digging round and you're all laughing, and it's just, yeah, that's the impact really. That's what I
Yeah.
love. That's really what I want to do more of.
And it
Yeah.
gives them ownership then, doesn't it? Because if they've been
Totally.
involved in transforming that space, they're going to be more likely to look after it then.
Yeah. Exactly.
Absolutely it. Absolutely it. And you we can set the parameters. We can sort of say, okay, you can think about this type of plant, or this type of bench maybe, or a seating, whatever, but you can choose, or you can design, and we'll support you to do that.
Mm.
We're not here to dictate. And also I always always want to be curious with them. I don't have all the answers all the time, and we'll learn with them. And then
Mm.
also, then I always find when I'm working in mental health as well, that really breaks down barrier. A lot of the time I come from a place of lived experience, so I say, I've got poor mental health, my mum's an alcoholic, but all that sort of stuff that a lot of people know about me. But that also breaks down a barrier.
Yeah.
It's that, okay, you're not someone that I have to feel like I'm a bit like, oh, he knows
Yeah.
everything, I'm scared to say anything. So yeah, slides. Ooh.
Yeah. Because I suppose a lot of kids like that, they think, oh, he's he's someone perfect. He knows everything. He does everything. But if you break down the barriers to start with, you tell them, and then they think, oh, actually, he's just the same as me.
Yeah, and also, I mean, gardening's about I don't call it failures, I call it challenges. We, some things, for all of us, won't grow one year or do badly, or we won't get something. It's just inevitable. That's what nature
Mm.
does. We're never,
Mm.
and that is a great lesson for anyone. It's about being able to be resilient, and flexible, and roll with the punches, and take on challenges when you see them. So that's again why gardening is such a great tool for
Mm.
anyone really on that journey.
Do you ever go back to see the kids again? A year later and see how they've been doing?
I try. So yeah, I do try. Depends where they are in the country, but I often hear stuff or hear quotes or people tell me. Or actually, weirdly, the other day I had someone. someone who I'd done some stuff with in a college a few years ago then was at Wentworth Woodhouse show and said hello. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So they're
Oh,
obviously still quite keen, and we're coming to a flower show, which is
yeah.
amazing. So yeah, I'd love to be able to sort of have little sort of catch up sessions with them all, but sometimes it's not logistically possible, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a way. I'd like to sort of do more of that checking
Mm.
in, because as well it's hard, because what you try and do with projects like that is not set these people up to fail. You don't want to create an amazing, garden that's pristine with lots of rare
No.
plants and lots of maintenance schedule and all sorts, and then they just can't look after it. So you want to then give them ownership so they can just get on with it without you.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Do you ever find working with the kids maybe doing some edibles that would help a bit so they can have a bit of a taste later on?
Absolutely. Do you know what though? I always propose doing edibles with every project I work on, but it's always the powers that be that get nervous of that, because it's the
No.
maintenance. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
suppose so.
It's and it's but things like herbs we've done, which that I did a herbal tea garden at a museum actually, which is but they have a group of 5 or 6 sort of very wealthy elderly volunteers who know a lot about plants, that could look after the garden for alongside the young people. But some of these
Yeah.
places, when I've done stuff in schools before, you've always had the problem is you've always had one proactive teacher that knows how to grow fruit and veg, but
Yeah.
then they leave, and then the garden then just collapses or doesn't happen, or falls into disrepair. But yeah, I always do, if I'm doing sort of like taster sessions or drop in stuff or consultation stuff. I always bring in some edibles, or I always want kids to sow um, some edibles, some tomatoes, or something easy and something
Mm.
simple. But yeah, I haven't done any community space or school space yet that's been full of fruit or veg, which is interesting,
Shame.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Because there's quite a few. Well, around here, definitely a lot of the schools have got little allotment clubs after school and
Yeah,
things like that, which is
which is
absolutely
brilliant.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Mm.
But I know the RH. I'm working with a bit with the RHS at the moment on revamping their campaign for school gardening stuff, because I think they've realised that the whole school needs to be part of a gardening journey rather than one proactive teacher or a gardening
Yeah.
club. And I think actually if that can start to be rolled out or happen,
Mm.
that's quite interesting, because then
Yeah.
it's just embedded across the school as standard rather than
Mm.
being a nice add-on. You know.
Mm. Yeah. Just one class a week for every class would cover the whole lot, wouldn't it? It'd be
Well, I think
brilliant.
they're also. I don't know if they've launched this yet, but I'll tell you anyway. I think they're coming out. They're saying that what a plant in every classroom is part of the strategy as well.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So
Each class has got an ownership of that plant.
I've probably given you an exclusive I'm not supposed to give there, but oh well.
Dun dun
Don't worry about
dun.
it. Yeah.
Like you
Soon,
said
though.
earlier, lots of people quite possibly know about your mental health struggles.
Mm,
Can we delve a little bit deeper on how
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
how it happened and how you got through it, or
yeah.
getting through it?
Getting through it, always getting through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was, God, what was I? Year 6, year 5, year 6. I noticed that, well, my dad used to work on the cross channel ferries. I used to live in Kent, and he used to work over to Calais, week on, week off. So there was a point where I was, sort of year 5 and 6, where I noticed mum was just a little bit different when dad was away. Didn't really make anything of it. And then it got a bit more noticeable, and she was a bit more nastier to me and all sorts of things. Anyway, yes, it turns out that she'd started drinking, and she was drinking behind my dad's back and all sorts of things. And I had 2 younger sisters at the time, so I basically fell into the role of carer.
Mm.
And yeah, it was and so that sort of lasted, all through secondary school. Secondary school was, so I lost my hair during secondary school. That's when that's sort of stress induced
Wow.
alopecia.
Really?
Yeah, and I had sort of childhood trauma and PTSD and all sorts of things. My eyebrows fell out when I went to university. And maybe, if you want to really deeply delve there, that's maybe the reason I've got a beard.
Came
I
out the
don't
other.
know.
Okay.
It's
Mm.
sort of some sort of symbol. I don't know. Um, So yeah, so drama for me, it was theatre actually that was my outlet at secondary school that could enable me to be someone else, to do something different, to focus on something different, to be away from mum after school.
Okay, yeah.
And it was theatre that gave me that outlet. And then yeah, left college. I did theatre at college. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Did a few A levels. I worked in the kitchen for a couple of years because my dad was a chef and he sort of taught me how to cook. Mum and dad got divorced. It was all still really horrible, and I was like, do you know what? I need to leave. I need to leave Kent. I need to get out of this because this is going to, it's going to be really bad on me if I stay. So yeah, I auditioned for a few drama schools and things. Decided to go to Winchester, did drama, and it was there really that I started to, because I'd stepped away from Kent and home.
Mm,
I
mm,
was able to look back at what was going on and try and make sense of it a bit. So that's where I set up my theatre company. So the theatre company is all about using theatre and creative activities to improve and support the mental health of people. Um, and obviously, what I was doing was trying to challenge my energy into helping other people through theatre. And so I did the drama degree, stayed around Hampshire, did a show about mum and me. So I played myself, and my colleague played my mum. We
wow.
toured that around, and that was really cathartic. Actually, that was about that for the first time I was sort of really investigating my own trauma in a safe space for me. Theatre in that world was safe for me. I wasn't interested in counselling, never had therapy at that point, and I was just like, well, actually I know how to make a show. I'm going to start to explore some of these issues in a rehearsal process,
Mm,
because that feels safe for me. So I did that, and yeah, at the end of the show, so we toured it, and it sort of got nominated for several awards and all sorts of things. And at the end of it, I stand up on stage and I tell an audience, "Hello, my name's Lee, and my mum's an alcoholic." And actually, for me, that was the point where I was like, well, that doesn't feel that bad anymore. All that stuff that I was holding about my mental health and what I was trying to hide,
yeah.
Yeah,
I can say it, and no one really cares.
yeah,
That's so more and more,
Mm,
blah,
mm,
blah, blah. Yeah, and I yeah started. I sort of had a bit of therapy, and then COVID hit,
mm.
and obviously all of that trauma and that stuff that I thought I dealt with came back during COVID because of what was going on, everything else, and that's where I had some real therapy and really started to delve into it again, and then looked at gardening, and then gardening became the source of what theatre was doing when I was a teenager.
Ah, right.
So there you go. There's a whirlwind whistle stop.
No, fantastic.
That's
So,
probably the fastest I've ever done that story.
so the gardening helps you. How does it help you get through your low times then?
Um, well, it forces me outside,
Yeah.
but
Ooh, sounds gone funny.
was that because I did something there? Was I
Yeah,
doing
I
something?
don't
mute.
Um, yeah. So yeah, it forces me outside. For me, it is that sense of that bigger thing. So if I'm stuck in my world, if I'm stuck in sort of just stress or worry or something's going on, just being with the chickens or watching nature or
know.
seeing that life is just still continuing, nature is still happening, that for me provides me with such a grounding to be able to deal with my poor mental health in that moment.
Mm,
And the more I do that, the easier it becomes for me every time I do it. And that's what that links to what I said earlier about me thinking I want to be a druid or whatever. I think I'm on that journey of there's something really powerful about how nature makes me feel.
yeah.
And I'm interested in herbal medicine. I'm interested in growing plants to make me feel good and all that stuff. That sounds dodgy, but you know what I mean. Not marijuana. Um, uh, so yeah. So there's that, but there's also the thing around, again, that one of the best things a gardener can do is the ability to observe and to notice. You
Hmm.
know, gardening slows us down. We have to observe. We have to watch the garden, and we can watch it on a minute level. We can watch it on a larger scale. But to be a good gardener is about observation, and that also really helps with my mental health. The ability to just slow me down, just focus me in, to observe and to watch what's going on, changes of plant. What's going on in that. What does the soil look like today? What's happened here? So it does that as well. it constantly keeps me engaged and thinking about learning something new.
Hmm.
Again, which is really good for inspiration. Giving me something, because I'm awful at sort of just, I can't sit still. I always have to have the next challenge, the next thing to do, and I need that thing to stimulate me for the next weeks, months, whatever it is.
Hmm.
So, and gardening always offers me that new challenge, whatever that is. That can be in my own garden, can be other gardens I'm doing, whatever it is. So yeah, so it's and yeah, and also it's physical. And
Yeah.
I've, we all, I'm as bad as everyone else. It's that sort of, I want to eat better, I want to eat more plants, and I do a good go at that, but I want to be more physically active. But it doesn't help that there's a fried chicken shop behind here, and it
Now,
wafts over. It's wafting now. Um, but but gardening, is great physical activity, and it makes you, kneel down, dig up, if you're able to, just
Mm.
and it's, even just walk. And again, that was what it was doing in COVID as well. And just getting outside and being in the fresh air is
Mm.
also obviously also wonderful. So it does all those things.
Yeah. All those things that we love, all of us gardeners love everything you've just mentioned, even if
Mm,
it's for our mental health or for anything else. But it's, yeah,
exactly.
gardening is amazing, and we all love it.
Mm, mm. And I think as well, what I'm trying, it's that I think we're getting. I think we've got better as well, as England is always seen as the horticultural epicenter, isn't it, of the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Um, and I think we're doing better at sort of not trying not to get too hung up on things like Latin names. I know it's important in some contexts, in some jobs. Latin names of plants is important and things. But actually, I think we're doing better at sort of understanding the different levels of gardening and ways in which we can garden.
Mm.
Whether that's small water gardens on a balcony or a pond, or a small container pond or whatever it is, through to just sowing some herbs on your windowsill, through to
Yeah.
creating nice vast stately home gardens and walking through them, wherever it is. So I think we're talking about that a lot more. I think, which is really exciting, and really exciting for children and young people as well.
Mm.
The chickens are whining at me because they want to go in and I've closed their door.
I can hear them. I can hear them.
Can
I
you hear
think
them?
mine have gone round. They'll be in now because their door's still open, but they'll be in now.
because you were talking about fried chicken.
Yeah.
Well, I know they've pricked their necks up, haven't they? They have. Yeah. Look, they're all they're all just
Ah,
they're all worried.
they're
I'll just
ready to
go and
go to
open their
bed.
door for them. I'll just go and open
Yeah,
their
go
door.
for it. I'm just going to turn my light on.
Yeah, I was going to do the same before I fade into darkness.
I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
It's just started to spit the rain here. I hope it don't
I've
throw it
got
down.
I've got no light outside, so it's gonna.
And paid.
You'll be dark. You'll be in pitch black in the next 20 minutes.
I will.
Whereabouts are you, Lee?
I'm in Southampton, in Hampshire,
Oh, so you're right down the bottom.
and there we go. It's a police car right in the middle of Southampton. So yeah, yes, I'm nowhere rural or remote but it's fine.
No.
And again, this is my sanctuary. It's my little slice of nature right here.
Exactly. Exactly. So
So
it wasn't. Oh, go on, Mark.
I was going to say one of your more recent videos was saying that you want to sell up and find your own
Yeah,
plot of
yeah.
land and be
Yeah,
more self-sufficient.
that's the aim. That is the ultimate aim, and we're still talking. Me and my wife we're in that period where daughter starts school next September. Got to get our asses in gear if that's going to happen. Um, and it's everything, isn't it? It's like, that's a big life change. It's money. It's moving away from family that we have here. But I think if we don't do it, we won't do it,
Mm,
and we'll regret
mm,
that.
Yeah.
Um, I think there is definitely something that's going to happen. How it happens, where it happens, what happens, I don't know yet. But it needs to. I think that's my next challenge. That's my next
yeah.
thing that I'm going to get, because again, it's quite selfishly, for my own well-being. I definitely can't stay here. I,
Yeah.
I, I don't think this isn't a place I want to stay for the rest of my life. Um,
You've
and I
almost
think,
outgrown it.
yeah, there you go, nice gardening reference. Um, yeah, I wanna be, walking around my monastic garden in my monkshood, um, hosting round tables of plant food. Anyway,
Not eating monkshood, hopefully.
no, of course
Oh,
not.
definitely not.
No. Um, so yeah, so I think that's the next chapter. When the chapter begins, I've got no idea.
I think that's makes it a lot easier to even think about that the wife is keen on it as well.
Well, do you know what? And that I said to my friend the other day, I said, actually, I'm really quite grateful that we're both on the same page, because I've
Yeah.
got so many friends where there's that one of you does, one of you doesn't.
Mm.
And I think both of us, that's almost like someone telling us that actually has to happen. Then we've got to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely.
If we both want it, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I
no
wouldn't have
fight.
hope in hell. Not a hope in hell. Teresa won't even come out into the garden, let alone let alone live in the forest or somewhere.
Oh God, won't even come out into the garden.
Well, I mean,
No,
she won't come and she doesn't like gardening. She won't come out in the
no.
allotment with me and
Well,
that
nor
kind
does
of
my
stuff.
wife. She doesn't. She just likes to be in the garden. It's
Oh,
her.
right, okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Use it. You do it, and she can use it.
I know. No, I know. I know. So, but that is exciting. It's definitely, yeah. It's definitely the
Yeah.
next thing.
Look forward to hear about all that. That
Yes.
sounds very
Watch the
exciting. Yeah,
space.
definitely. So tell us about a little thing that you put on not many months back called Garden Gathering.
The garden gathering. Yes. God, that was a while
Yeah.
ago now, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So I'd done some work with Andover Mind, who are a local mind. And I'll just talk about Andover Mind because I'm really passionate about what a lot of people don't realise is that the National Mind, whilst it's a great charity and a brilliant body, and they're all about sort of national campaigning and advocacy and policy. And actually, if you give money to National Mind, it doesn't trickle down to any of the regional mind charities.
Okay.
So if you want to support frontline services, give to your regional minds. So I always want to say that because a lot of people don't
Yeah,
realise
yeah.
that. But I'm not saying mind is a bad thing. If that makes sense.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
understand.
yeah. So I've done some work with Hand Over Mind, trying to raise some funds for them and doing some awareness raising work. And they just sort of taken on this patch of land on the Waitrose farm at Leckford. So Waitrose and Partners have the Leckford estate, which is their sort of big farm that they have. And they have a sort of farm shop there and a garden centre and a patch of land at the back. And Hand Over Mind sort of took it on. They created a wellbeing garden there, really beautiful. And I thought, you know what? Let's just get some of my gardening friends together for a day. Let's see what happens. Let's just do a sort of little mini garden festival. See if we can raise some money. And that's what we did, really. So it was really pretty chilled. It wasn't, I had no money. There was no money I put into
No.
it or anything. So we had, cobbled together a few stages, got a few, friends together, and just yeah, had a bit of fun. It was really nice. It was really chilled. Um, yeah, and I maybe we'll do it again in the future. But it'd be nice if Waitrose maybe would sponsor it.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? Get them to
Really
put their
dark
hands
here
in their
now. Can
pockets for
you
a
still
bit.
see me? Can you still
Yeah,
see me
just
here?
yeah. We can see.
Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
about. God.
I was in pitch black last week by about 8:45, so don't worry.
Really? Okay,
We'll
fine.
still be able to hear you.
Fine. Oh God.
I
Yes,
didn't mean that in a rude way.
that's fine. I'll just turn my camera off.
Yeah. So let's talk about actual gardening now. Then, so what you love and what you've done and what you want to do in your garden now.
God. I'm just growing. I've got 6 raised beds, which is so I've got the chickens here. At the back here, it's just under this tree is there's a compost bins and things. There's not a lot I can do there. And I've just got 6 raised beds, a small wildlife pond at the front, and a seating area. It's got some Mediterranean herbs, but I'm just growing stuff that me and my daughter. So my daughter's 3.5 now, so she understands now growing and
Mm.
what to do and various things. So she wanted to grow tomatoes, and I've grown. Oh my god, I can't move for tomatoes. It's the most tomatoes I've never grown so many tomatoes in all my life. Um, and I'm not, apart from pruning them, I'm not, they've not been fed or anything. They're just going mad, which is amazing.
Brilliant.
So I've got them. I've got raspberries in. I've got strawberries in. I've got a sort of a I had some peas in, some beans in. I've got a sort of cut flowery patch there, but that's about it in terms of the current garden. Um, I just like it to be green, and I like to be coming out here and picking stuff that I want to use or eat. So for me, just having edibles
Mm.
is just really nice, because I can go on that gardening journey with Mabel. Mabel can understand where food comes from. Where the chickens were, I had a sort of previously like a sort of bit of a experimental border where I was sort of trying different combinations of things I like to grow, or I'd sit out and flower shows or whatever. But then I let the chickens loose last year, and they obviously ate everything. So,
Yeah.
um,
Chickens do.
so yeah, so I've just gone
Ah,
back to just using 6 raised beds. Really, that's all it is. Nothing fancy.
chickens are a pain in the backside. Mine keep getting in my tomato polytunnel, and oh, I've now
Yeah,
got no tomatoes up to about that height, and they just leave three-quarters of one. They've munched through it and leave that one, and munch through that one, and munch through that. Ah, absolute
but you know
pain.
what? Well, what I do now is I let them out sort of. I let them out for about a couple of hours, every few days, or or once a week or whatever. And I've got no slugs.
No,
I've got no slug. I've also got no other wildlife, but but
or no brassicas or lettuce or
no.
they're just
But you,
absolutely devastated.
but it's interesting actually. Again, thinking about observing what the chickens are eating and what they want to eat, and the stuff. 'Cause I thought they'd be up for all sorts of. They're not eating the strawberries. They haven't touched the raspberries. They're not eating the chamomile. There's all sorts of bits where I'm thinking, okay, they're just not. Even the tomatoes. I think because there's so much of it, they're now like,
Yeah.
actually, now we're not going to get involved. And they actually, they're very nicely sort of eating all the weeds between all the brickwork. It was fine.
Mm. I only realised a couple of weeks ago, I think, when Mark told me that chickens love fat hen. And why did I not realise that? And so when
No,
all the fat hen that I get in my garden now, I pull out, and they absolutely love it.
They get you.
brilliant. Yeah. You see, there's something nice about that as well, isn't it? About just sort of taking one thing you don't want and giving it. I like all that as well. Sort
Yeah.
of giving it the chickens to love. How many have you got?
I've only got two now. We were at four,
Mm,
and we're gradually,
Fox.
they're no, they're just dying of
No,
old age. They're
no,
all
just
they're old caged hens we've rehomed,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah.
four. What are they now? So it'll be 3 years in February we've had them, and they were 18 months old when we got them. So
Okay.
they're 4 years old. So
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing all right.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
them.
they're
Yeah,
good.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not,
great little
and
things.
and I think for me as well, it's I'm in the middle of Southampton. I'm surrounded by terraced housing. For me, that's the chickens are that slice of rural life that I want.
Yeah,
So I'm definitely manifesting it, aren't I? I think.
you are. You are in many
These
different
little
ways.
gaelic.
Little bits and
Yeah.
bobs everywhere.
Little bits, isn't there? Little bits.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Does your
it's
daughter
quite
like the chickens? Is you right
loves
with
them.
them?
Yeah, yeah, he loves them, and that's been interesting as well. Is that scared of them for the first few weeks, but now just
Yeah,
like feeding them from her hand, wants to pick them up, kiss them on the neck, all that sort
yeah,
of. It's just
yeah.
again, and that's and such confidence in her now of going, oh, um, Daddy, should we pick that chamomile flower? It's like, oh, hello, yes.
Brilliant.
And
That's
It's
such a
just
buzz, isn't it? When
it
that
is.
happens.
It's amazing, and just the
Mm.
thought of her going to preschool and saying we dried some chamomile flowers and had some tea.
Yeah.
It's
But you just
nice.
got to make sure she doesn't say we dried some of Daddy's plants.
Yes, yeah, I know. She might be saying that. Who knows? Anyway,
But it's good that she's learning things.
I
Just being
know, I
out
know.
in the
It's amazing.
garden, she learns things like we do. I surprise myself sometimes when I'm around people in other people's gardens and they don't know a thing about gardening, and they say, "Oh, we don't even know what that is," and I go, "Bang, bang, bang, bang."
Yeah,
Where's it come from? It's just
I
because
know.
we're
Yeah.
so in depth in it all the time, in here, in books and magazines, on the TV. It's constant.
But also, yeah, and I'm not very good at sort of learning like that. I have to be there, seeing it, touching it, being there.
Mm,
I was never good at revising or absorbing from textbooks
yeah.
and stuff. So,
Mm,
and again, I think with kids as well, young kids, she's associating colour and texture and shape with the stuff she eats and stuff, which I think is again really powerful.
yeah.
definitely.
And for them to see, plant a seed and watch it go all the way through and then eat it must
Absolutely.
blow their
Yeah.
minds, the little ones'
There's nothing
minds.
better. There is nothing better than that. I don't think.
Mm.
I always say, kids that they go, oh my god, you can grow ketchup because that's what they, it's all that sort of stuff, isn't it? You can
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Grow the
It
chips as
just
well.
grow the chips, of course.
But it just baffles me that, when people say, oh, yeah, these kids are in my school, blah, 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 and they didn't even know vegetables grow in the ground, or, they thought they
Mm.
come with polythene on them. It's just
Yeah,
absolutely mind blowing.
I know, and it is, and that's work we've all got to do. I think it's
Yeah.
we don't, it's sad, and it's yeah. I think there's just we've all got a responsibility. I think all of us that love it, haven't we, to try and just
Yeah.
sort of
Mm.
nurture and educate and empower.
Mm. Definitely. Yeah, and it's so good what you're doing, and the other Lee, Skinny Jean Lee, he does, with the kids,
Yes.
absolutely brilliant.
Well, watch this
Fantastic.
space for maybe a little partnership. Who knows? Ooh.
Oh, Lee.
Two Lees.
Again, who knows? But watch this space.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. We will look forward to that as well.
Yes, but Lee's
Lots
great.
Exclusives.
lots happening in the
You got two
future.
exclusives there. There you go.
Definitely.
Well,
I don't know
well
if
the first exclusive and that one might be linked. So there you go. I'll leave you with that.
oh, okay. Okay. There's a bit of an RHS link somewhere. I don't know if anybody's got any questions for Lee. Tuck them in now.
There was a thing
Um,
about chickens before.
Was there?
Would
Go
you
on.
recommend chickens really keen but worried about my rats, my dog, and then also leaving them for weekends, etc.?
So I don't have a dog, so I wouldn't know how dogs are with. I know people that've got chickens and dogs though, so I think it
I've
just
got
depends
dogs.
on your dog and depends on your chickens. I think, doesn't it?
I've
Um,
got dogs.
with things like rats and stuff, I think it's just about making sure that you invest in a fairly decent, or good maintenance regime or good cleaning
Yeah.
regime and a good hen house.
Mm,
We've got one of the fancy. It's plastic, but it means you don't get the red spider mite as much and all sorts of.
yeah.
So yeah, I think the chickens are brilliant. They're so easy. We've been away overnight before, and they've put themselves to bed, and they're just brilliant,
Mm.
actually. So, and you can get fancy timed opening gates now for them,
You
can't you?
can, yeah. So they go up and down on a timer, or
That's
the
it.
light
Yeah.
and everything. But where dogs come to it, my dogs are scared of my chickens, so they won't
Oh,
go
there you
near
go
them.
then. There you go.
The chickens chase the dogs. So I can't say that would be every dog because I'm sure it's not. But yeah.
And
So yeah,
the dog might keep foxes away as well potentially, I suppose.
and I think yeah, because touch wood. Let me touch on wood now. I've said it. We've never had foxes around here, and Mark can vouch for it. We live in the middle of a field, so
Bit tricky, but they were.
Mm.
because
Yeah,
I think because the two dogs are running around and marking and making smells all day, every day, it keeps them
exactly,
away. So I think
exactly.
it will help.
We,
But there was
we,
another
we,
way that they
we
said keep. Did you see years ago Hugh Fernley Whittingstall kept his foxes away by going to the hairdressers, collecting loads of human hair up and putting it in tights and hanging
oh,
it around the fence.
Oh,
fine.
Apparently
really?
that works.
How
Yeah,
bizarre.
maybe they weren't his own tights, but
Mm. I've got lots of tights, so I could do that. Good tip.
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
Joe's dog would kill chickens. They are. See, that just shows. Oh, but he's scared of the guinea pig.
sensible, that is.
God,
That's it.
it's just my bearded head now wobbling in the darkness,
Thanks
isn't it?
for the. Oh, is it an omelette one? Omelette Hutch.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah,
Run.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They're good, aren't they? Really good.
They're very good.
Yeah,
And
really,
actually, the
really good.
whole thing, because it all fixes, it's all compatible and it fixes all together, and it's all very efficient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, very
I'm
good.
in no way endorsed by them. Although if they want to endorse me,
Why aren't people like you talking about modern monetary theory? 24.
what?
Why aren't people like you talking about modern monetary theory?
I don't know
24.
what modern monetary
Modern
theory is.
monetary theory is now. I don't either. Sorry, Jaw.
Way over our heads with this gardening.
Yes, definitely. We're just old
Yes.
gardeners.
Don't know nothing about money.
Yeah.
Spending it in garden centres, that's about all we know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right then, Mark, I think it must be time for
The
the
lightning
lightning
round.
round questions. You ready
Right.
for this, Lee? They're
Oh
really
God.
hard questions.
Okay, go on then.
First one, favourite band or artist?
Oh, jeez, it changes every like week. Um, At the moment, it's Doors, not the Doors. DAWES, Doors.
Oh, nice.
Oh, never heard of them. I'll have a look.
American folk art, sort of. Anyway, yeah.
Sounds good. In the summer, are you a cuppa in the morning sun or a cold drink, relaxing, watching the sun go down?
Probably cold drink watching the sun go down.
Nice. Not
Yeah.
tonight.
I don't drink tea in the mornings, drink coffee.
Next one,
Ooh.
flowers or edibles? Light.
Edibles. Definitely, actually. Edibles. More practical.
Beach or forest?
Forest, definitely.
That was easy. What's your go-to emoji in a text message?
Probably the sort of what is it? The crying, probably.
Brian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. If you could only have one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
A snack. I fried chicken.
It's that place's fault.
Brilliant.
I that's my weakness. Fried chicken. I love it so much.
Oh,
Nice.
it's good. It
Shouldn't
is
say
good.
that with chickens, really, should I? But
No, but they are. They eat
At
it.
least know
So
where it comes from.
it's not. It's not. Bless them.
Finish the sentence. My perfect day would be.
Walking around a historic city with a glass of wine.
Nice. Today's favourite plant?
Today's favourite plant. I'm loving the ladies' mantle actually at the moment.
Nice and favourite season?
Spring.
Spring. When it's all coming back to life.
Yeah, I
lifting.
think so.
Good
Does give you
choice.
a good lift, doesn't it?
If you could make one thing disappear from your garden or the gardening world, what would it be?
God. Oh my God, that's an interesting question, isn't it? If I could, plastic.
That's your
Oh,
chicken run gun.
Plastic. There you go. Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
I don't know. We'd come up with something.
Definitely be good to get rid of plastic, that's for sure. What's your favourite weed?
What is a weed? Technically, buddleia is a weed. I like a buddleia.
The amount of people that don't like buddleias because of that reason, like it's
I love a
shocking.
buddleia. Love a
They're
buddleia.
Lovely.
gorgeous. They
Yeah.
smell
And
gorgeous.
I don't like the term weed. So, but
Right,
that's yeah.
definitely
Buddleia. Yeah, I like a buddleia.
good choice. Garden visit or a plant shopping trip?
Plant shopping trip.
Gotta be. And what is your favourite gardening scent?
Scent. Oh God. What is my favourite gardening? I do like cut grass, even though I don't have a grass. You know,
That's a
cut
good one,
grass.
isn't it? That's a good
Can't
one.
go
Nobody's
wrong.
ever said that.
I think we all go back to that nostalgic.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's
Yeah.
had that smell, haven't they? Everybody's
Definitely.
smelled that cut grass.
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut just instantly takes you back to the garden. Any
Mm.
garden, outdoors.
Yeah. And the final one, what would you want your gardening legacy to be?
Oh, God, it's why you don't want to sound too arrogant.
Everybody
Just.
in the world to remember me.
Oh God, it's gone off. That's gone off. Um, a really passionate gardening and mental health advocate and campaigner.
Brilliant. You're definitely that.
Yep, that's
So
what you
dark.
are.
That was on for a minute, but it's gone off now.
Security light's not working very well.
It's next door security lights. So I
Oh,
can't.
was it?
Yeah.
Stealing light now as well.
I know.
Brilliant.
So that's like theatrical blackout. There you go.
Oh, right, perfect.
The lights
Well,
have gone out, the
Lee,
show's over.
that's been absolutely brilliant. Loved
Well,
every
thank you.
second of that chat. No,
Thank
thank you.
you.
It's been really, really good.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
It's been really good. And we'll look forward to the new stages in your future.
Well, yes, and I look forward to seeing you all at some point in the future as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah. We'll have to all get
Next
together at
time
a
we
show somewhere.
bump into each other.
Yeah,
Yes, lovely.
brilliant.
Take care, both.
Awesome.
Thanks ever
Thanks,
so much.
Lee.
See you, mate.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, what a lovely man.
Lovely.
Absolutely lovely.
Definitely one of those like core memories of lockdown and Instagram of Lee dancing or
Yeah, I didn't have
acting or
Instagram then.
oh, that was just brilliant. Made me
Yeah,
laugh, especially in those dark times. Just somebody that was so clearly in a bad place himself, but he managed to
yeah,
make people smile,
mm,
which is
yeah, lovely.
it tends to be the case, doesn't it, that people that are in bad places themselves find
Mm,
ways of making other people feel better despite them feeling awful.
mm. It's weird how you. I don't want this to sound wrong or nasty or anything, but how you make your mind up about people, but you don't know them. Like I've spoken to Lee a few times, a few words here and there,
Mm.
but that to have a good chat with him like that,
Yeah,
just completely throws anything out your head and just put something else in. Then what a fantastic guy! Not that I thought he was not a fantastic guy. Like, it's
no,
hard to explain, but you know what
I
I
know what
mean.
you mean. Yeah, yeah. Because well, obviously, all of us that are on Instagram and people see us and we have a certain amount of followers or whatever, people will automatically think that they know you. But
Yes.
until you sit down and have a conversation with somebody for an hour, I don't think
Yeah.
you really know them, really,
No.
because you
Yeah.
don't get in depth. You just get what they want you to see.
Mm.
Whereas, sitting down and chatting to us for an hour, you get to know what makes people tick, don't you?
Yeah. It's nice delving into some of the things we spoke to Lee about, with him not stressing or worrying about it, and he's happy to tell us all about things. Because some people wouldn't, no, keep away from my mental health. I don't want to, but it's
They're
nice
very
to hear it
closed
all,
off. They don't want to. Yeah,
bring
they
it to
don't.
the forefront, I suppose.
Yeah, but I think that's how people relate and how people then have the confidence. They'll say, "Oh, I saw that guy talking on Instagram about his mental health."
Yeah,
Gives them the shove to talk about their mental health.
yeah, they think it's actually all right to do it,
Yeah,
to
and
talk
that's
about it, and
why
there's no stigma with it.
I've
But I
always
think,
been completely open with stuff about George and sharing George's
yeah,
journey, because if it makes
mm,
one person's life easier, then that's all that matters.
mm, yeah, just talk about things.
Yeah,
But there's
otherwise
been
people don't
times that
understand.
sorry, mate.
Otherwise people don't understand. If you
No,
don't talk about
no.
it, people don't get it, do they?
Mm. Because years ago, there was a lot of stigma around it, and you wouldn't say you had a breakdown or you've got, mental health problems, things like that, would you at all? But
Well, it's seen
I
as
think this
it was
last
seen as a
this
weakness.
yes, but this last several years, I think it's all, it's because it's being, you know, talked about it a lot more. It's getting easier and easier for everybody to talk about it with each other,
Yeah.
which we should.
Well, and men and mental health is rife.
Yeah. Mm.
Let's say. So when are you doing a through the garden gate interviewing you two? You- Are you coming on to interview us then, Daniel?
Yeah. You'll have to tell me when, so I can get my questions ready, my answers ready.
You're both we're not famous.
Far
Famous
from
to,
famous.
to to 10 people maybe.
Yeah, famous for about 10 or 15 people every week. That's about it. God. Definitely good to talk about mental health. Yes, and we do go through it, but up until recently, I didn't think I'd ever been depressed. But when you talk about people, there's so many different variants of mental health problems, just to being a bit glum, to being, having a right proper breakdown.
Yeah. What did that say? I will help you make Mark talk for an hour.
Wow. We're going to have Joe and Daniel and me and you on the screen, and they're going to be
Prisoners.
quizzing us.
Or do
That
we
could be
or do
done.
it one at a time? You get half an hour each.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. I always go with what I know of people from my experiences of them in real life. Online is not real, really, is it?
No.
You've got to judge what you know of your experience with the real people.
Mm,
You know, you can follow somebody and see what they are putting out, and you think that you know them, but you don't really know them. You know what they want you to know.
no, of course you don't. And, you know, I've had experience of where people have said, oh, I know this person, I know that person. You don't. You've only ever chatted to them on there and you've had, you know, messages and you don't know those people. No, definitely not. You think you do, but you don't.
Definitely not.
Top leg ends? What are you on about, leg ends?
Daniel's the legend doing
He is
that
a legend.
with Middleton Hall all on his own. I was talking about Daniel today at work, actually, saying, you know, as it helps ground me thinking about how much work Daniel has to do, and he's there on his own, or he was on his own, you know, and his site is probably 10 times the size of my garden, and he's open to the public, so he's got to make it look nice all the time as well.
Yeah.
Whereas there's me getting stressed about, you know, it's just nothing in comparison.
No, no, don't be silly. It's still, you know, you still want it to be as good as you can possibly make it.
Yeah,
You still work just as hard as Daniel does. Well, maybe not. I think you have more coffee breaks.
coffee and sitting in hammocks.
Yes.
I was testing it out to make sure it was still strong enough.
Good,
That's my
good.
story, and I'm sticking to
All
it.
right. How long did you test it for?
15 minutes or so.
And I'm sure it
As
was
long as it
fine,
took
wasn't it?
Chloe to go and empty the trailer.
Oh, I see.
There was nothing
What,
I could do.
five times?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Got to be some perks of being a head gardener. Come on.
I'm sure, yeah, of course there is. Yeah, definitely. I'm a head gardener here.
Head gardener of your garden.
Hmm.
Head and soul gardener.
Yes. Oh, I enjoyed that. It was really, really good.
Right. So next
This
week
time,
we're on Wednesday,
Wednesday.
because Monday it's my birthday and Tuesday it's my lovely wife's birthday. So I can't come and do Through the Garden Gate or I'll be in trouble.
Mark's going to be 40 when you next see him. 40.
I'm gonna this midlife crisis time, innit? I'm gonna have to buy a sports car and shave my beard off and
You'll
start
see
wearing pants.
your beard's going to go grey after 40. You know that.
Some people's it's already grey. I think I'm doing quite well to get to 40 and not have any grey.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leanne. Is that?
Are you doing anything on Monday? You got a day off?
Yeah, obviously. Well, it's Bank Holiday Monday. Everybody's got
Oh, of course it is. Yes.
Bank Holiday Monday.
So you've given yourself a day off.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, just go for breakfast somewhere. Probably going to go and look at the sculptures at Donington Hall, because they've got like a sculpture event on that they do every year, where they just have like the garden full of loads of different sculptures.
Hmm.
So that'd be nice, and then maybe go out for tea or something. Just a chilled day.
Nice.
Because I mean, anywhere you go is going to be busy, so I don't probably won't go anywhere specific.
Yeah, because it's summer and bank holiday as well combined.
And the kids are still off, so yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, nice chilled day. As long as they're with family, that'd be nice.
yeah, be good. Right, let's hit the road,
Hit the road, Jack.
and we will see everybody next Wednesday. Remember, I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll tell you
Yeah.
lots beforehand.
Well, we'll have people messages us next Tuesday going, "Are you not on tonight?"
Yeah, there will be, and we've got Mike the gardener.
Mike Palmer, the gardener.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Again, another bloke that I've sort of seen on Instagram and seen from the periphery, and
Yeah,
then I've slowly got to know him a bit more and bumped into him at Chelsea, and then we bumped into him at Hampton Court.
you did. Yeah,
And yeah, he's a really nice guy. Really
yeah,
nice.
it'll be good.
So yeah, good.
Right.
See you next week, everyone. Thanks
Look
for
forward to that.
watching.
I look forward to my Tuesday night off.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Right. See you later,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks ever so much.
Bye.
See you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.